There are a lot of people that are against taking high mile orders on DoorDash, Uber Eats, and Grubhub. And today I want to talk to you about why you should. My name is John McFall, and I want to welcome you to the McFallRI channel, where I teach you how to make $25 to $30 an hour doing food delivery. There's a lot of people that are against taking high mile orders because they don't feel like they're making the correct amount of money, and they're putting too many miles on to make it a profitable run if they take high mile orders. And today I kind of want to tell you how I do it, give you a little bit of a different perspective on it so that you can see that these might be a good thing for you to do, depending on what your marketplace is and how it works in your marketplace. If you get value out of today's video, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. The reason that I like to take high mile orders is a couple of different things. The first thing is the actual dollars that you make on the higher mile orders. Most of the time when you see a higher mile order, the pay is going to be higher both on the base pay, and a lot of times customers realize that they're having you drive a long way, so you actually get higher tips on these orders. Not all the time, but a lot of the time. The other thing I really like about doing the high mile orders is I'm not getting out of my vehicle as much when I take higher mile orders. And what I mean by this is, rather than going to a restaurant, picking up an order, driving it a mile out and coming back, and then going to another restaurant, I grab one order and it takes care of me for sometimes a half an hour or 45 minutes, where I'm not having to go into a bunch of restaurants and keep starting and stopping my car and getting in and getting out. So I can go to, one restaurant compared to going to two or three during that same time period, because I'm taking the higher mile orders. The other thing that I get a lot of the times on high mile orders is the apps will actually give me stacked orders a lot of the time. And when I get these stacked orders, I get an order to pick up here, and then an order to pick up maybe at the same restaurant or restaurant that's close to it. And the first order that I'm dropping off is from here to half a mile or a mile, maybe 2 miles, and then I take the other order the rest of the distance. It gets me stacked orders a lot of the times when I take these high mile orders, because they want to give me something else. So if you want to try out high mile orders, try it out and see how it works in your marketplace. One thing I do want to remind you though is, when you break down your marketplace and before you start taking these high mile orders, I always recommend people to have a minimum of 3 to 4 what I call sweet spots. And if you look here in Fort Wayne, you'll see that I have 5 of them in my marketplace that I typically use. And these are areas where I can get orders consistently on DoorDash, Uber Eats, and Grubhub, which allows me to not sit in one spot the whole shift that I'm out there working and waiting on orders sometimes. I always have orders coming to my phone because of the way I work my marketplace. And the reason my sweet spots are important is because this allows me to know where I am able to pick up more orders. And with that, when I get these high mile orders, I take a look at a few different key important parts and when they send me an order. And the first one is obviously dollars to time. What are they paying me for the time that I'm going to have involved? And obviously the second one is always, what is my dollar to mile ratio? But there's a couple other things that you want to look at when you're deciding where you are going to take these orders from and to, and you want to know what restaurant that order is picking up from. This is really important because you want to know if you can get in and out really quickly. The second thing you want to take a look at when they send you these orders, beyond the dollars to time and dollars to mile, is where is that drop location? Because I can take an order from my most northern sweet spot, and I can jump on the freeway and get it down to the most southern sweet spot pretty quickly, because it's mostly freeway miles that I'm driving. So you really want to take a look at where that order is dropping off and making sure it's going to drop you close to another one of your sweet spots. The other thing that you want to take a look at when it comes to these high mile orders is what is the actual time that the order says that it's going to give you. If you look at the platforms when they send you the request, they give you a guesstimated amount of time that it's supposed to, from the start to the finish, and this will really allow you to know if it's a good order for you to take. So you make sure that you take a look at the dollars to mile, the dollars to time, where the pickup location is, where the drop location is, and then finally, what is the amount of time that they're expecting that the order should take you. And if you take all these into consideration, you can decide if taking a high mile order is a good thing for you in your marketplace. If you've never tried high mile orders, try them out and see how they work for you. And you might find that you can make some really good money if you take the right ones. With that, I'd like to ask you again to please like this video and subscribe to my channel. I want to leave you with, if you want to know how well you're doing when you're out here doing food delivery overall, check out my metric spreadsheet here that'll show you what your averages are. If you look at the left-hand side, you'll see I always put my start time and my end time. This gives me the total time that I've worked. I also put in the miles. Head to the right then, and then for each individual app, you'll see I put the time that I worked, the dollars that I made, and the number of deliveries. Head to the bottom then and you'll see it calculates out what your average dollar per hour, dollar per mile, and your average per order. If you want to get better out there doing food delivery, keep track of these numbers and see what they show you so that you can see where you need to improve. If you want to check out multi-apping, I got a great beginner's guide to multi-apping 101 video here that you can check out, and this will go into the basics of multi-apping while you're out there. Would also like to say I hope that you are out there getting the money that you and your family deserve. And with that, I want to say thanks.